Today on Moe's Toy Room, we're going to unbox from NECA. Here is the Many Faces of Pennywise, the dancing clown. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Moe's Toy Room, come from my room to yours. And today we're going to unbox and review from NECA. Here is from the movie It. Here is the Many Faces of Pennywise. You can see right here on the front of the box right there, they have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture of Pennywise. And it seems to move around. His eyes can move around. Let me see if I can get that going. Yeah, this is a much larger box and you're going to see why. Let's open up that flap. You can see on the inside right there, Pennywise looking in action figure form. How he could look if you pose him the right way. You can see Pennywise kicking back behind his window of pain, locked in his plastic prison, because this is the Many Faces of Pennywise. It seems to be just a reused body, but it brings like 10 alternate heads, 8 alternate hands. It brings a balloon. It brings Georgie's arm. It brings the spear that goes through his head. It brings Georgie's boat. This thing just brings a lot. And it's bringing it here to Moe's Toy Room. All right, let's turn this to the side right here. You can see more of that beautiful box right there on the side. On the back right there, this is for ages 17 and up. You could find this over in the Walmart or the Target area of the collector's area. So you might have to go to the electronics to pull this one out. We got this from Walmart, believe it or not, of all places, because here in the Bay Area, Walmarts don't carry anything, and I got lucky with this, and it was a whopping, yeah, you're gonna hear this right, $54.99, folks, or $54.98. All right, folks, so what we're going to do is we're going to save some time by taking all this out of the package, and we're going to take a closer look at it and see if you approve. All right, folks, so let's go through some of the properties that this Pennywise has. First of all, we have Pennywise right here. You can see this guy's standing on his own, which is pretty cool, because the one that I have that is behind me, I have to put him on a stand, and even then he doesn't stand very well even on that, but this one stands real good. But the thing is I'm going to put this one back in the package after, and I'm giving this to my daughter. They didn't have two, so they only had one, so I ended up buying the one for this review. But because I have the same body and the same head that I want to use in my display behind me, is the one that I'll be keeping right where it's at, and this one I'll be putting back in the package, and she could put it in her collection because this is the only one that she's missing. She even has Pennywise tattooed on her arm. Okay, that's how much she loves Pennywise. But here is Pennywise. You can see him right there. Let's give him a turn. Pennywise the dancing clown. This is one of Stephen King's golden childs right here. The town of Derry, Maine. All right, so let's take a look at what Pennywise brings. Okay, so in the backdrop right there, he brings the broken glass. They threw that in. And if you wanted to pose your Pennywise in front of there, he would more likely be like that. We'll get to the review in a minute. Okay, and the reason why I said that was because I'm going to leave the hands right where they are at. He tends to bring 8 alternate hands. I believe that's 8. Yeah, there's 7 there, and then he brings the spider hand, the one where he's transforming. So he only brings one of these. So I would have liked to have, maybe if they would have put one where we could have used one on each hand, that would have been pretty cool, but I'll take this. This is cool. All right. So let's move that aside. And then he brings Georgie's arm. You can see that right. Let me move my fingers. If you're wondering why I sound different, because I got really sick over the holidays and just haven't been feeling good. Okay. Also, he brings the balloon. This is just wire. You could bend it however you want it. It's so hard to get this thing to stay in the actual hand that it goes to. And for some reason, it just shreds all this white right off, and then the silver gets exposed, and this whole thing just gets messed up. So I'm going to leave this one like this and put it back in the package. Okay, then he brings some alternate heads here. So he brings kind of like a Joker looking head right there. You can see that. Pretty cool. He brings one of his deranged looking crazed heads. This would have been more on that photo reel. Remember in It Part 1 where he came out of the movie screen. Okay. Then we have a very deranged looking Pennywise right there. This is cool for some of you if you'd have missed out on all the other Pennywises that were released. This is a cool backup. But I'm going to tell you, in order to have all 10 of these, and you're thinking, I'll buy 10 of this 54.98 figure. Not only are you going to spend a lot of money on it, but good luck finding 10, because I can only find one, and they're pretty hard to find. So, and then we have another deranged Pennywise. I would say just pose them with your favorite Pennywise head. And then from time to time, you could probably just change out the alternate heads as you tend to get bored of one of the faces. Here goes a normal Pennywise. That's the one, probably the head he'll probably charm you with, lure you in. The hair is all pretty much the same. Just the way he wears his hair. And you got the one deranged, crazed one that was in the mirror. Remember when he was checking out the kid before he broke through the glass and got him? You can see his hair is a little bit more straight right there on that one. Really cool. And here's the one when he actually licks the mirror. This is very deranged. This is probably the most disturbing head out of all of them. You can see the back there. You could probably pose your Pennywise, like put him with the, like kind of like in a squat position where he's kind of lurking over, maybe have him grabbing at you, and you could pose him with this head and it might look pretty good with that little glass thing right behind it. And then here is when they reflect back. I believe this is in part 2, when he's putting his makeup on and he's just laughing at himself in the mirror, just a deranged lunatic, and he puts his hand on his face and pulls down and just cuts up his own face. He's just really, really out there. When he was a circus performer. And then you have this really, really just deranged looking head right here. This one where you can see where he got caught, and it's probably the spider starting to come out of him right there. But what's cool about this head is the actual like spear that he brings should go in there. So I don't know if I could run it through this side, or maybe I have to put it through like that. Let's see here. It goes through some way. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. So it would look like that. And it goes through good. And then obviously you have the spear, which is a nice material. It's very nice. Not too pokey. But don't have this around children. Like I said, it's for 17 and up. And then we have Georgie's boat. The one that his brother made for him. The one that started it all. The one that you've seen where they made it. They put the glue and then the boat's going down and falls into a gutter. And that's where he comes across Pennywise for the first time. And then Pennywise ends up leaving with his arm and then reaches out and just grabs him completely and takes him off into the lights. All right, folks. So it is review time. Let's take this Pennywise right here to the side. Yeah, please bear with me. I'm just really, really under the weather. I wanted to do this thing a few days ago, almost a week when I got it. He looks up pretty good. Hits that Michael Myers, pretty decent. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that he also brings a neck collar in there. So he has an alternate neck collar, his clown neck collar, and he has the one here, so you can pull it off, and then the neck collar can also come off. Okay, arms will hit about there. That's not bad for having all his ruffle on his shoulders. There's no butterfly cup joint in there. You're gonna get arms that can go up and around. He should have some swivel somewhere. He has swivel right there, right below his bicep, but above his elbow. And then he also should have swivel there. So you can see some swivel there. And then it looks like he has swivel at the top of the forearm right there as well. Double jointed arms. You can see the extender piece right there all day long. Same as the other. Oh yeah, and he also has swivel at the top of the bicep. Look at that. Really, really nice. This thing swivels 3 times in one arm. Actually, if you wanted to, you can count. Wow, look at this. Even the fringe on his below right here, the fringe that he has, the collar fringe that he has around his wrist, also moves around and swivels. And then also he has a whole lot of movement in his hands, but his hand just popped right off. Oh yeah, popped right back on very, very easily. All right, very nice. NECA went all out and just did it. Same as the other arm. Everything is exactly the same. Go through it. Movements are all very nice on this fig. This is just an all-around nice fig. I'm going to flat out say it. If you have a Pennywise fan in your household, or if you are a Pennywise fan yourself and do not own any of the figures and are thinking about buying one, this might be the one to go after because of all the goodies you get with it, and you could always change out his head. Okay, so he has waist swivel right there at the waist. Doesn't have too much ab crunch. You're wondering, how are these things hard or are they soft? His little pom-poms that are right running down his chest and his stomach, down the center right there. No, they're nice, like hard plastic material, but not too hard. Very nice. And then you're wondering, his skirt performer outfit right there is a looser, more rubbery type plastic, molded plastic, specifically for this figure. And because of it, though, the legs are only going to go about that far. And then that's all you're going to get for an Anderson Silva kick. That's about what you're going to get for a Bruce Lee kick. Because this thing isn't really going to do anything except for stay in one place, right where it's at. And then he has really good hip movement. I'm wondering if you could see that. I don't know if I can get right there. Really nice hip movement throughout. And then he also has swivel right here, right above his double jointed knees. You can see it more better from the back. Okay, at the top. And then he also has it at the bottom. Okay, so then he has double jointed knees, which actually you can see the extender piece in right there. Super, super nice. NECA went all out on this guy. And then right here at the bottom on his fringe, right above his boot, right above his performer boots. This is a nice material, nice, convenient, but yet elegant material. I like the way it looks all in general. And then he doesn't have any swivel at the boot. And then if you're looking for a rocker, that's probably about what you're going to get. Not really much. There's not really much there. And then you can maneuver the ball joint that's up in there, the little joint, to get his feet to move around if you want to, but it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to get it to go back to normal. So I will leave that alone, leave it right where it's at. Feet go down. They go back up. One foot goes up way higher than the other. He has his little pom-poms right there on the front of his boots. And all around, this figure is just nice. Really, really nice. All right, let's take a look at him with some of the some of his alternate heads. All right. I'm wondering what he wants to see. Let me move this one to right. I know which one it is. Okay, this would be the... Some of them can be a pain to get on. There you have one right there. Okay. I don't want to take too long and bore all you guys. And then you would have another one right there. Okay. And then you would have this one's a little bit right there. Fell to the side. Oh, it didn't even go in. Yeah, I would have to really shove this one right up in there. There you go. There you go. All right. And then you would have this one. That's how he could look. Super nice fig. All right. And then you have the one from the movie. You see how it has the, remember how it kept changing and the hair started to come off his face and then expose Pennywise. And then you have this one. All right. And then let's take a look at and Pennywise, who's starting to get a little angry. He doesn't get his way. And then we're going to take a look at the Joker style Pennywise. Let me see if I can get that in there. It's going to be a little tricky to get up in there. Joker style Pennywise. And then while we're doing that, let me put the one right through. Oh yeah, he has one more. And then I want to do the one with, I want to put the one through his head. And then he has, let's see here, this thing's getting a little wore out. All right. There you go. All right. So let me find the one where he, right here, and then goes through his eye. Hold on, let me do it this way. This could be a little tricky. There you go. All right, so let's pull this one off and stick this one on. All right, and there you have how that one would look. Yeah, that's really deranged. That's insane right there. Yeah, I'll just leave them like that. All right, folks. So that will do it for my Pennywise. But before I go, I want to get a height on this guy. So that way you know. Usually I kick it off with this, but we're looking at on this Pennywise probably around 7.5 inches tall to the top of his head. And then comes out to around 19 centimeters, maybe 19.5 centimeters tall. And he would probably be the same with all of his heads that he has on. All right, folks, so that'll do it from Moe's Toy Room to yours. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so that way you know when the next video like this one hits. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Moe's Toys. That's MOE'S TOYS. Moe's Toys up on Instagram. We're also on TikTok. Check us out there, Moe's Toy Room. So from Moe's Toy Room to yours, everyone, go out and get yourself one. They're on the shelves now. Good night, everyone.